Hi, I'm Jeff Little. I've been teaching weekend warriors how to kayak fish for river smallmouth, reservoir bass, and tidal largemouth for the last 10 years. The experience of guiding and teaching so many students has been a great asset in the production of my first DVD, River Kayak Fishing Skills. In the summer of 2010, I decided to backburner my one-to-one instruction in favor of teaching and presenting my lesson plan to the video camera. The resulting footage has ended up on many YouTube videos, the DVD this video is promoting, and my first seasonal tactics DVD, which covers river smallmouth summer patterns. Much like my on-the-water classes, River Kayak Fishing Skills is organized in a lesson plan. Chapters include finding the right kayak, maintaining boat position, paddling technique, stealth approaches, maneuvers, running a rapid, trip planning and exploration, pattern development, which is the foundation of the seasonal tactics for river smallmouth DVDs currently being filmed. And finally, forage assessment. I had a lot of fun filming that one. Here are some selected scenes. Hope you enjoy. Rapids can throw you for a curve sometimes. If your sweep stroke isn't solid and you need to turn the kayak right there, right now, you may be in trouble.
With the sweep stroke, at the end of it, here's another self-assessment tool. If your paddle is along the length of the kayak, you've done a good sweep. You've also done a good torso rotation, evidenced by the elbows still being at roughly 90-degree angles. One of the often touted advantages of being in a kayak as a fishing platform is its stealth. Now, the stealth isn't automatic though, and what I think a lot of anglers need to realize is their role in stealth. It certainly gives you an advantage, but fishermen, just like hunters, need to constantly analyze the signals they send out into their environment, really into the fish's environment, in terms of the fish's sensory organs, especially if you're in a nice clear pool like this. You want to move in on it nice and slow. I will routinely drift like this with one leg in the water just to keep myself, if there's a rock coming up, rather than letting my boat bang into it, which would spook the pool, having my foot hit it first and slowly coming to rest on it is much better than banging into it with the boat. So make use of your feet. Here's a rock I can stop on right here.
Now notice here how a lack of speed leaves you vulnerable to tipping. One thing I did do right here was to assume the safe swimmer position once I dumped. Safe swimmer position, feet up off the bottom, pointed downstream, prevents foot entrapments, a potentially lethal situation. When a foot entrapment occurs, the ankle gets wedged between two rocks. The only way it's coming back out is in the direction it entered, from the upstream direction. With the full force of the river preventing that, you may find yourself in serious trouble, so please keep your feet up. Reading the rapid correctly to find the downstream pointing V's, or tongues, takes practice. Follow an experienced paddler through rapids to speed up your learning curve. Exploration and kayak fishing are synonymous as far as I'm concerned. I do have favorite waters that I consistently catch big fish from each season, but somehow catching them from waters I've never seen before satisfies more. Here's a segment that chronicles the research, trip planning, and execution of a float trip on a smallmouth stream. Yeah, the topo around it looks good. Lots of ridge lines crossing it. Man, you know, there's ledge trenches all around this. How wide did you say it was where you crossed it?
From what I could tell, it was bigger than the Monocacy, but not as wide as the Juniata.
Let me check out the average stream flow on the USGS. Yeah, it's a nice sized creek. Average CFS is
about 200, 230. Let me see what Gertler says about it.
I've hiked down creek beds to get to the river. A really wonderful tool for using creative access points is the drag strap. A small carabiner at one end of a rope and a section of PVC pipe at the other, and you no longer need to stoop down to drag your kayak. I've crossed train tracks and scaled steep rocky banks.
We're going to make some observations to kick off starting a pattern for the day. But for right now, let's say thank you to him. Get him back in. See ya. All right, that 18-incher was right here. The first part of pattern development is going to the spot where you caught the fish and making observations. All right, same spinnerbait. I think it was up at the top of the ledges, up at the top of an eddy. We're gonna run up there and find out. So I just measured him, 19.5-incher. We're gonna see what commonalities this one had with the 18-incher I caught earlier. But let's let him go first. Switch to a rattle trap. Again, something gold and fast. I got one hook in him. I got him. Alright. Another dimension to the pattern today. I tried the suspending jerkbait and burning that real fast. That didn't work. And here I got something else, just like that big spinnerbait. I'll show you here in a second. But a big gold rattle trap just burned real fast, straining a lot of water. I spend a lot of time preparing for trips in terms of getting my gear ready, retying lines, doing all kinds of stuff, pre-rigging baits. But none of that is as important as preparing myself mentally with a positive mental attitude, the attitude that I'm going to go out today and catch a lot of big fish. The best way to do that for me is reviewing this river fishing log. I keep detailed notes about what I caught, the patterns that I used to catch them, the conditions, and I like to go back to a situation where I have, around the same time of year, similar conditions, and review the successful patterns because I'd like to replicate that success. That black is showing up nicer.
A band of muddy water coming out of a tributary hard hit by overnight thunderstorms was the perfect match to the pattern.
One of the guys talked about the crayfish changing color throughout the lunar phase, the moon phase. Do you believe in that?
Actually, I do. I mean, I don't think it's the case in all river systems or all lakes, but I know, like on the North Branch, it's definitely true because I'm there a lot, so I check them out. This blue color is quite common. But what I notice is that in the earlier in the moon phase, when they almost get their new shell, they almost have a blue that goes almost all the way through the entire back claw, and the closer it gets to the cycle again, the darker they get.
So there it is, River Kayak Fishing Skills, a river runner's lesson plan, available at kayakbassfishing.com or blueridgekayakfishing.com.